Leeds United are on the verge of relegation. In fact, I think they are going to get relegated. Look at the Premier League table. They're not surviving this. I remember a couple of years ago doing a FIFA 20 Leeds career mode, and that was so much fun. We had players like Calvin Phillips, Rafinha as well. But now all of them have gone, and no wonder Leeds are heading right back down to the championship. I mean, just look at this team. It looks so freaking average. It is not a team that's ready to compete in the Premier League. But hey, that's exactly where I come in. I'm going to become the manager of Leeds United, and we're going to fix the situation. Leeds fans deserve better, and we're going to make Leeds one of the best clubs in England. We're starting off this Leeds United project by taking a look at the squad we've got. And instantly I realized where the problem lies. Okay guys, like honestly, this defense is not ready to survive the Premier League. I don't mind Wobber, a young centre-back, okay, decent. But Robin Koch, I'm not too sure about that. Christensen is a right-back. Again, a lot of players in here are young, but I don't think they're good enough for the Premier League now. Melia as well, a good keeper with a bright future, but is he ready for the Premier League? Moving into the midfield, at least we've got Tyler Adams and McKennie, a couple of good American players. But then Aronson and Cam? Nah, man, this ain't it. We do have players like Harrison and Sinistera, Ganondo and Somerville on the bench as well. The wide players are just fine. But then again, Bamford up top, he's not a Premier League level striker, no disrespect, but there is so much we need to change here at Leeds. I think our goal for this first season should be to finish like above 15th, not be in the relegation battle. I don't think we can aspire for more. Because honestly, to get this team to top half the table, I might need to replace half the squad, but do we have the money for that? No, we've got about 47 million to spend, which is decent. But with that, I'm going to be limited in what I can change. But guys, let's get to work. We need to not be in a relegation scrap this season. Avoiding relegation is a must, because only then we can build this team up to being potentially in the top 6, in the top 4, and of course in the Champions League one day. Gotta dream big. My first decision at Leeds United is gonna be a bit of an emotional one. An offer came in for Liam Cooper, and I decided to accept it. The truth is, guys, Liam Cooper was brilliant for Leeds back when they were in the Championship, but now we need more. The extra 4 million might actually help out at some point. With Liam Cooper gone, it's obvious the first position we're looking to improve is that centre-back role. And I think I've just found the perfect player in Antonio Silva from Benfica. The Portuguese centre-back, 18 years old. I've somehow never signed him in career mode yet. Bro, he just looks perfect. Look at the pace he's got, the strength. Looks like an absolute unit at the back. This is perfect. And because we're Leeds United, we don't have unlimited money, we need to get deals like this before players, become established. Because now, I think we can get a brilliant deal on Antonio Silva, maybe like 20 million. That's what I'm gonna try. Let's see what happens here. 27.3, that isn't too bad, but you know me, I'm gonna be a bit stingy. 24 million is gonna be my next offer for Antonio Silva. You know what? Let's accept this. It works. 24.8 million for a young centre-back like that. Brilliant. And with that, I've just made my first signing as Leeds United boss, Antonio Silva. Welcome to Leeds. With Antonio Silva coming in, the defense certainly looks a lot better, but there's still so much to improve. But again, guys, we're on a budget, just 25 million left. We've got to be very smart about where we're going to invest that money, because the next signing might be the last one we make for this season. Because that final signing is so freaking important, I've decided to get into our first Premier League game of the season, assess the squad on the pitch before making a call. And also, we have our new boy, Antonio Silva, making his debut. In the first half itself, I kind of figured out where this team was lacking. Crossing for Bamford? How did he miss the header there? Bamford controls it. What was that? He's just really slow. I think I figured out the weak point of this team. I kind of knew this already, but Patrick Bamford, he ain't it, man. He's not the striker that's going to get us the goals. He's 28, 76 rated. I think we need to move on. And I guess the situation is timely because we just get an offer for about 7 million for Bamford, which is a bit low. I'm going to try and counter with 8 million because the more money we get for him, the better striker we can sign as a replacement. And there you go. That's worked. But the other thing is we got another offer for Rodrigo as well, who I don't really care much about. You might be thinking, why? Well, it's because we've got this kid, Jorginho Rutter, on the bench who could be a solid backup striker and one for the future. And so I decided to take the cash for Rodrigo. This gives us even more money to spend on potentially a striker that can help us avoid relegation. So after all the player sales, we're chilling with a budget of about 45 million. And is that going to be enough to sign a number 9 that's going to get us goals to keep us alive? Okay, guys. guys, I've been doing a lot of scouting for the striker position because it's a very important role for the team. And there were a fair few players I looked at, but I don't see a better option than Tammy Abraham. He's been coached by Mourinho, has the experience, playing in Italy, coming back now to England. I think he'll be better than ever. He'll also have a point to prove against all other Premier League clubs. This is it. For 38 million, we complete the signing of Tammy Abraham. I genuinely feel Tammy Abraham's goals is going to be what keeps us alive in the Premier League this season. It's now time for Tammy Abraham's Leeds debut, and it's against Spurs of all teams. But if he can score here, it'll give a bit of hope to this team that maybe we've got what it takes to survive relegation. Even though we had Tammy Abraham, they had Harry Kane, and he strike first. But then soon after, Tammy Abraham proved his worth. Tammy Abraham, oh, lovely finish from him. Let's go. He gets his goal. I told you it was worth spending the money on him. Tammy Abraham is through again. No way, guys. He's gonna single-handedly keep us alive this season. Yes, guys, a win secured at the Spurs Stadium away from home. Tammy Abraham is giving this team a bit of hope, but is it still gonna be enough to survive relegation? I think we've done whatever we could to build the best possible team with the resources we had. Silva and Abraham were class signings, but I would love to bring in maybe another fullback, definitely another cam. But look at our budget, 4 million. We're gonna have to see if Leeds can survive relegation with this team. We're now making our way to the January transfer window. That's gonna be a good point to assess our squad and see where we're at. We're now halfway through the season, and honestly, this is looking good. 13th in the Premier League, 26 points. We're not really in the relegation battle, which is a win. And I think for the first season, not bad. But there is still another 18 games to go. We're seeing a lot of growth in our players though. Like, look at Tyler Adams up to an 80 overall. Silva, Strujic, Melier. There is a lot of growth all round. Problem is, I would have loved to invest a bit of money and improve this team, but all we've got is 4 million. So we're just gonna have to believe in this team for getting the job done. In fact, one thing we need to address is some of the contracts that are expiring. Oh no, Weston McKennie. I didn't realize he was on loan. I would love to sign him for next season because he's absolutely brilliant, but I don't think we'll have the money. I don't think I'm going to renew Ayling's contract. Joel Robles, probably yeah, because a backup keeper is useful. The same with Forshaw. I don't think we need to renew his contract. Before we make our way to the end of the season, I've got one change to make in this team. The truth is, as good as Jack Harrison is, he's not really delivering for us. 7 games, no goals, no assists. So what I'm thinking is making Sinisterra a right midfielder and playing him on that side. I think this could work. And for the left midfield position, we're gonna make Gnonto a starter. He's already been coming off the bench, and look at his stats. This is crazy. He scored 12 goals in 20 games. Imagine the damage he could do as a #1 starter in this team. The decision to make Gnonto a starter was the best thing we could do because he's now scoring goals for fun. Out of nowhere, Gnonto became like a leader of this team, scoring 20 goals, more than even Tammy Abraham. And that led to Leeds United finishing 10th in the Premier League, 46 points. That is actually brilliant. I was not expecting a top half finish in the first season itself. We've completed our objective for the season, but this is just the start. We want to take Leeds United to the very top of the Premier League. Let's see what we can do with this team next season. Also, guys, the road to 800,000 subscribers has begun, and if you guys can help me out by subscribing, that would be awesome. We're heading into our second season of this Leeds United project, and already look at our team. It is so much better than what we started. I think it's fair to say we're out of danger from the relegation zone, but you know what? Let's still be a bit wary of that. But yeah, if you look at this team, Abraham, Sinisterra, and Gnonto up top. Gnonto, of course, has just been a legend so far. That attack is brilliant. Aronson surprised everybody, and look at him now. Adams has been a leader. The next Calvin Phillips, I guess. And the defense is pretty okay, but I think that's where we need the most improvements, and maybe another midfielder. I genuinely feel if we make a couple of good signings, one midfielder, one fullback, I think we've got a team that could potentially challenge for top 6. Outside chance, but we're gonna give it a go. Our budget is about 52 million. That's the problem. We're not gonna get the backing like the top 6 clubs get until we make it to the Champions League or even the Europa League. So we're on a tight budget. I've got a couple of signings in mind. Let's get to work. Firstly, Junior Firpo is 26 years old, 78 rated. He's a good fullback, no doubts about it. But I really feel like if we want to take this club to the next level, we need someone better. And for 26 million, we found the perfect left back in Renan Lodi from Atletico Madrid. The good thing about him is that he's played for Nottingham Forest before. He's got that Premier League experience. All we need now is a quality midfielder who can help us dictate the game, and I think we're ready for the season ahead. The problem, though, is that 23 million to get a quality midfielder is clearly not enough. Remember back in the day, Pablo Hernandez used to play for Leeds? A quality midfielder, and he was so key during Marcelo Bielsa's era. And I'm thinking, I want a Spanish midfielder in my midfield too. And look who I found. Barcelona fans will remember him, Ricky Puig, who's playing for LA Galaxy. Crazy how he's ended up in the MLS, but he's 23, 79 rated, and he's got a release clause that's literally lower than his market value. That is crazy. You don't see that often. I think we need to pounce on this deal. Yo, I'm straight up paying that release clause. And so for about 18 million, former Barcelona Academy player joins Leeds United. Oh boy, this team is coming along nicely. Our first game of the season is against Manchester United. This is going to be the best way to test our team and see if we're ready to compete for a top 6 position. Well, we ended up conceding first, and this is not looking good. But this Leeds United team that we've built was a lot better. We were creating chance after chance. But finally, we got our reward for our hard work. Good play, looks for Gnonto. He's turned the defender, goes for goal, and it's in. Gnonto keeps scoring. We get the equalizer. Half time, guys, and it's incredible that we're level with Manchester United. In one season, and an extra window, we've built a team that's able to compete with teams that are at the top of the Premier League. We've still got one more half. Can we do the impossible? The second half was extremely tight and we were trying our best. But towards the end, Manchester United got what could be the winner. We even came very close to equalizing in the 90th. But Manchester United managed to beat us. Frustrating, but you know what? There's a lot we can take from this game. Leeds United should be proud. I know you see some of our players on the floor right now, but from where Leeds were at the start of this video, a relegation threatened club, to now competing with Manchester United, I think this is going to be an exciting season, and this result should motivate the squad. And that is precisely what happened. We were racking up wins against key opponents. We're halfway through the Premier League season now, and time to see where we are in the league. Results have been brilliant, and looks like we're in the top 5, top 4. Are you kidding me? No. Leeds United third in the Premier League. In 1.5 seasons, we've managed to do this. Manchester United is still way ahead of us, and winning the Premier League is going to take a while, but we've managed to get Leeds United back in the fight. It is so unfortunate that we can't bolster our team, bring in more signings, and improve this team, because I think if we did, we could have maybe just got our way into the title fight, or at least secure top 4. But let's see if we can maintain our spot in the top 4 and secure Champions League football. We've made our way almost to the end of the season with 4 games to go. We're still in the fight for top 4, but yes, the team has lost a bit of steam. We don't have the squad depth of the other big boys, but we're still 5th in the Premier League with a chance to qualify for Champions League. Would you believe that? The gap to Chelsea is crazy. Just 1 point, and Arsenal are too far ahead of us. We need to keep winning if we want to qualify for Champions League, but the problem is our next game is against Manchester United. Essentially, we lose this game, and to qualify for the Champions League won't be looking good. We have to get a result against Man United. This time against Man United, we were out for revenge. Oh, Sinisterra's broken through. This could be his moment. Sinisterra has to score, and he does. Oh my God. Book your flights, boys, because Leeds United are heading to the Champions League. But the league leaders weren't just going to let us have our way. The game was level. Second half, we needed a magic moment, and stepped up Brendan Anderson. Aronson, oh my God, he gets his moment. He was a player we were looking to replace at the start. Instead, he scored one of the most important goals he'll ever score. In the second half, the game got even more insane with Manchester United scoring. It was getting crazy. Guys, it's 2-2 right now, and wow, if we don't score the next goal, it's going to be curtains for us, boys. I'm desperate to get into the Champions League. Gnonto, no way, Gnonto, it had to be him, the wonder kid of this Leeds United job. Oh my goodness, it had to be him. And yes, guys, we've secured one of the most important wins in Leeds United's history. We've just shown that we can beat Manchester United. Question is it enough to secure Champions League? Yes, guys, by 1 point, we've secured top 4. Next season, Leeds United are going to be in the Champions League. 2 seasons ago, who would have thought? This this time, Tammy Abraham had enough. Look at the goals from him. Gnonto as well keeps performing at an incredibly high level, and Sinistera surprised everyone. We're exceeding our expectations, and so next season, I guess we gotta dream bigger. Heading into season 3, this could be the season we maybe challenge for the Premier League title. Last season, we showed we can beat Manchester United and the other big teams. But this season, though, we're gonna be in the Champions League as well, which is gonna be fun, but also maybe a distraction. Do we have the squad to win both the Premier League and the Champions League? Obviously not. But you know what? We're gonna enjoy Leeds United playing in Europe's elite club competition. But firstly, before that, we need to build a team that's ready to challenge for the Premier League title. We've got to keep taking things to the next level. Getting into the Champions League definitely means our budget is going to be improved. 115 million. That's awesome. And look at our team. It's so much better now. Gnonto is an absolute baller. Abraham is scoring goals for fun. We've got Sinistera. The midfield is looking really nice. Again, defense is where we're lacking a bit. I reckon we get a quality centre-back with a lot of talent, and we're sorted. In fact, I'm thinking of getting a centre-back that's won the Premier League before, because that experience is what we need. We've just pulled off the bargain of the century. For just 25 million, we've signed multiple Premier League winner John Stones to Leeds United. I think it's an incredible deal. Can you believe this, guys? John Stones is 30. He's going to give us a couple of solid seasons, and we still got him for such a good deal. Honestly, this might be one of our best signings ever. For the next transfer, I've got an idea that's a bit controversial. It starts by first converting Sinistera into a cam. I think in a couple of weeks, he should be able to play that position just fine. As good as Aronson is, he's a baller, but I feel like we need someone better if we want to win the Premier League. Putting Sinistera in there with that pace makes us extremely direct. But yeah, that does mean we're going to need another right midfielder. I'm not playing Dan James there as a starter. Now that we've got 84 million, I think it's time to bring back a certain Brazilian to Leeds United. Yes, guys, it's Rafinha. There have been so many rumors linking him to leave Barcelona. It's time to bring him to the club where he really made a name for himself. We're now a team that are fighting for the Premier League title. I'm sure Rafinha would love to return. But first, we're gonna have to negotiate a deal with him, and you guys know I'm super stingy, so let's see how this goes. 40 million is my first offer. And I can't believe this. Like, how are clubs willing to agree to such fees? For 43.3 million, we're about to sign Rafinha back to Leeds. The thing is, we can't offer him Barcelona-like wages, so if he wants to join back to Leeds United, he's gonna have to accept a bit of a wage cut. Will he accept it though? Yes, he does. Wow, I'm surprised there, but Rafinha is now a Leeds United player once again. With the signing of Rafinha, we're still left with 34 million, but honestly, the team looks absolutely fantastic, so I've decided to keep it as is and see how things progress. We've started off our Premier League season in the best possible way. 4 games played, 4 wins. This shows we've made the right investments. But now we've got the Champions League ahead of us, where we're going to make our debut in this competition. We play Juventus, and this is going to be a real test to see how far we've come with this Leeds United team. But in the Champions League, we got a reality check. Guys, I'll be honest, I don't think we've got the history, nor the ability, nor anything to compete in the Champions League yet. It is just not worth it right now. We're getting rushed. Guys, we just lost 3-0 to Juventus. We barely had the ball, and it looked like they weren't even at full throttle. The Premier League is a completely different ball game to the Champions League, and I don't think we're there yet to be able to compete in the Champions League. So I think this season we should just focus on what we're good at, which is the Premier League right now, and just gain that experience and maybe go for the title. Let's not distract ourselves with anything. Doesn't mean I'm just going to forfeit the Champions League. We'll see how things go. If we want to win the Premier League this season, we're going to have to prove ourselves against the very best. A win against City away from home would do just that. This game was the perfect chance for Rafinha to prove himself. Rafinha's broken through. Rafinha, oh, he's managed to tap it home. Rafinha, that's why you get a Brazilian in your team, to get that extra bit of flair. And soon after, the Wonder Kid got his goal too. Man City are just unable to handle the pace of our attack, and Gnonto slides that home. Absolutely brilliant. This is a huge result against Man City and a statement. We've got to keep this up. With the start we've had in the Premier League this season, the confidence is high. Let's make it to the halfway point of the season. We're now second in the Premier League, but 9 points off Liverpool. That is tough. It's not going to be easy winning the league from here, but the truth is we're somewhat in the fight. In the Champions League, meanwhile, well, we got got knocked out in the group stages. I told you, it was a bit too early. It was nice to experience it, but to be honest, in our third season with Leeds, we weren't ready for this level of football. With all our hopes crushed in the Champions League, it feels like everything now rests on the Premier League. We're 4 points off Liverpool after 26 games, still only an outside chance to win the title, but we've got to give it everything now. So far this season, Tammy Abraham has just been on a mission. We need him to continue doing that. Gnonto as well is playing incredibly well. Rafinha has got to step things up. Now is the time. Maybe I just criticized Rafinha a bit too much because in the next few games, he dominated. Oh, Rafinha. Oh, that's a lovely pass for Sinistera. And there's the goal. Rafinha has finally woken up. Rafinha, oh, that is a lovely ball for Gnonto, who controlled that brilliantly. And there's the goal. Rafinha, the creator again. We're now almost at the end of the Premier League season in a very tough spot to win the title because we're 6 points off Liverpool, but we do have that game in hand, so we're still in the mix, but it's tough. We literally need to win our next 2 games against Man United and Man City if we've got any chance to win the Premier League. Gnonto, Tammy, Rafinha, Sinistera, I need someone to step up during these 2 key games. Gnonto breaking through. No way. He keeps going. He keeps going, beating even his own players. There you go. Gnonto gets the goal against Man United. We might just be able to pull it off. Just City left. Oh, Tammy Abraham has broken through. He's got the strength. The City defenders aren't catching up to him. Tammy Abraham with a beautiful goal. We're getting the job done against Man City as well. With those wins against both Man United and Man City, we're just 1 point off Liverpool with 2 games to go. We seriously have a chance to be the underdogs that made it possible. We can make Leeds United Premier League winners this season itself. But we have one last test. That is Liverpool itself. First versus second in the Premier League. It's basically winner takes all. After coming so far from seeing Leeds be 18th in the Premier League to all the way now fighting for the title, there was no way we're gonna let the fans down. Rafinha, no way. Rafinha has just dribbled past everyone and scored. That is simply sensational. Oh no, Liverpool on the break have been caught napping. Gnonto gets past everyone. Oh my word. Gnonto scoring the goal that could possibly get us the title. The game ends with a Leeds United win, but is that going to be enough to win the title? Yes, guys, we freaking did it. Leeds United have won the Premier League 3 seasons. I can't believe it. I expected 4 or 5 to get them to the top, but we made use of the players we already had brilliantly. I mean, just look at this team that we've built. Honestly, it's freaking insane having Gnonto, Rafinha, Sinistera, Tammy Abraham, players like Adams and Stones at the back. It's so well deserved that we pulled it off. And look at Tammy Abraham. What was Mourinho feeding him? He is now just dominating the Premier League. Gnonto as well. Like, oh my god. We're now officially the best team in England, but the story isn't over yet. Remember the group stages, how we got humbled this season? Nah, next season we're gonna win the Champions League. Heading into season 4 as Premier League winners, the only objective left is the Champions League trophy. You know, fun fact, it was 2002 the last time Leeds United were in the Champions League, and crazily enough they managed to reach the semi-finals. It's time for us to break that record and create history and get this Leeds team to the final. But if we want to win the Champions League this season, we've got to use that 160 million that we've got as our budget really smartly, bringing in a few players with that Champions League trophy experience. The first signing we're making is huge. Reece James, welcome to Leeds. Now, if you're thinking how I pulled this off, because Reece James is worth about 90 million, well, the only way we could do this was through a swap deal. So Christensen goes Chelsea, and we had to pay about 75 million as well to get Reece James. But I think all in all, it's worth it to get one of the best right backs available. Oh man, with Reece James, just look at that team. All we need is one quality centre back, and I think we've got what it takes. So I wanted to basically sign a centre back that's won the Champions League before. So I've got a couple of options here. Rafa Varane, multiple time Champions League winner, or Virgil van Dijk. But the fact that Van Dijk is 34 years old is, it's a bit problematic. I feel like he's going to lose a lot of his stats very soon. But he is higher rated than Varane. It's a big decision to make. But since Rafa Varane has won multiple Champions Leagues, I think I'm leaning leaning towards him, but it all depends if we can pull off the transfer. And with that, negotiations went down smoothly, and Varane is now a Leeds United player, and the fact that we got him for 36 million is brilliant. And so guys, I now believe we have the team that can win the Champions League. I was thinking maybe we get another CDM, but we gotta trust Adams. He's been a rock in that midfield. He's helped us win the Premier League, so we'll trust him. We'll trust Rafinha, Renan Lodi, and let's see what happens. The draw for the Champions League group stages is about to be made. This could be huge. Oh my god, of course, Barcelona in our Champions League group. Well, if we can beat Barcelona in the Champions League, I think we'll be just fine. Oh, Tammy Abraham has broken through. Tammy Abraham, boom, and we get the goal. Leeds take the lead against Barca. There's something different about our team this time around. Fernando, and there's the goal that seals the deal. Barcelona can't handle us. We showed Barcelona who's boss, and we end up topping our Champions League group and unbeaten. But it's now time for the Champions League knockout stages, and this was where we're gonna get tested for the first time. We're up against Marseille. Okay guys, I'll be real. I think we've built a team that's good enough to knock out Marseille. Let's see what happens in the first leg. Come on, let's go. We get the win. All we need in the second leg is a draw, and that'll send us through, and we do better than that. We get another win. In the quarterfinals, we had drawn Liverpool. Definitely a bit nervous for this, but remember last season, we beat Liverpool to the Premier League title, and let's see what happens here. Ooh, a 2-all draw. The next leg's gonna decide everything. We need to beat Liverpool at Anfield. Can we pull this off? If we can, we'll be in the semi-finals. Yes! Sinistera gets the goal. Spurs in the Champions League semi-finals? They should be easy. Light work, boys. It's Spurs. Come on now. Not gonna lie, the second leg should be a breeze as well. There you go. And here we are with an opportunity to get Leeds United their first ever Champions League. This team is incredible. We already won the Premier League with them, and look at them deliver for another season. Gnonto, I think he's been my favorite player. I'm hoping we can score with him in the final. But this is it. It's time to use the team we've built in a Champions League final. No way. Look at Atletico Madrid attack here. We've got no players defending back. Survive. Melia with the save. My god, is this game stressful? We've given the ball back again. Melia saves us. Oh my lord. This final has been way too stressful, boys. We need a bit of Rafinha magic. Can he produce something? Rafinha, tough angle. Almost scored. Go on, Gnonto, just before halftime. If we can take the lead now, it'll be insane. Gnonto. Oh, that is classy. Leeds United are leading in a Champions League final. Floating this corner in. Header. Reece James, keeper saves. Abraham, how does he squeeze that in? That could be it. The goal to get Leeds United a Champions League trophy. It's done, guys. We've made Leeds United Champions League winners in 4 seasons. Gnonto, Abraham, Sinistera as well. Absolute legends. Can't believe we pulled this off. What a journey with Leeds, man. From again 18th in the Premier League, verge of relegation, to of course lifting the Champions League. This journey was amazing. But I'll tell you, another epic journey we had was with West Ham saving them from relegation. If you want to watch that, click here.